Hello and welcome to the first episode of Donny Reviews. Now, do you remember when you were a kid and everyone was talking about which console was better between PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, and Sega fans are crying in the corner because they knew they already lost to the Sega Saturn? Well, Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 is the premise where the goddesses are knockoff consoles fighting in the everlasting console war. PlayStation is Last Station, Xbox is Lean Box, and the Wii being Low Wii, and Sega being Planetune. This JRPG made by Idea Factory that originally came out on February 15, 2011 on the PS3, then the remake came out on PS Vita on August 26, 2014, then finally came out on Steam on January 29, 2015, where we fought the goddess of Plenitude, Purple Heart, are known as their normal form, as Neptune as she is defeated by the other three goddesses and loses her memories, and that's where our story starts, where Neptune is trying to regain her memories and her power while fighting off the enemies of the game industry that are trying to take over after the goddesses were fighting each other during that time. The gameplay is a turn-based combat with the twist that your attack is a combo that you can change and play around with three different types of attacks: rush, power, and breaker attacks. Rush attacks make your character attack more times but do a lot less damage and not do a lot of damage to the enemy's shield. Power does a lot of damage to the enemy's health, but the character only attacks once. And breaker is where you attack the enemy's shield, and if the shield breaks, the enemy takes more damage. The movement during the player's turn is great because you can position yourself in any way you want with your weapon. It has an area in which you can hit a target so a character can hit multiple enemies or not be able to hit any enemy at all during their turn. However, if you have a ranged character, you can attack enemies while they cannot attack you. It's a nice change to the formula of turn-based combat to the norm of attacking, seeing the damage happen, then the enemy attacks, damage happens, then it's your turn. Now the world and the characters make this game special. To the nature of the game, it takes itself lightheartedly, with the characters constantly making references to other games, and the enemies that we encounter are references to other games and anime culture in general. Our main character, Neptunia, is a meme in herself. For a meme personality making video game references, constantly cracking jokes, having fun of her friends, just all that whack. Compa, the first person who found Neptune after her fall and became her first friend, is an airhead who's a perfect pair for Neptune, having fun joking around with her, adding to the chaos of the group. IF is an adventurer who joins their party as a straight man of the group. Ask the questions that people normally ask and keep the story wandering off, keep the story going, guys, we gotta actually do stuff, we can't just sit around and have, lunch. These characters are going to be your main three of your party unless you have DLC. You'll meet a plethora of other characters on your journey that will keep the group always having fun, still get the job done as heroes. The party consists of 3 people at a time, but each party member can have a support person supporting them, do support attacks, can be changed out to be the leading attacker instead. This mechanic keeps the party constantly changing and trying to increase infinity with each other to get them stronger in battle as a support. The goddesses have an HDD drive ability in which for a bit of the mana they can transform into their goddess form, deal extra damage, and their skills are stronger versions of themselves. The new thing that has been added to the remake of this game is the remake system, where you can add whole dungeons. They can be added by changing plans to add more enemies, make enemies weaker, or change items in the dungeon. This gives you things to collect and makes the game easier or harder depending on which one you want to do. The downside of this game is that there's a lot of grinding to the nature of it being a JRPG, but that comes with the territory. Another problem is the DLC to the game, especially on PC, where there's a DLC that can make things easier to grind of the game, a DLC to increase shares, a DLC to have theater mode to rewatch cutscenes. Overall, I think this game is a great JRPG with a cast of characters that stand out and constantly make me laugh. The combat is fun, it never really makes me bored, and I would definitely recommend it if you can get it on sale. And with the 10th anniversary of the series came out, they put a remake of all the DLC on PS5 with the fishing minigame. It is a great time to get into the series. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good night.